On Power Talk this week, we're talking money. Money that you may not know exists out there, money that belongs to you, or financial assets that belong to you. How do you reclaim them? Today on Power Talk, we are talking about unclaimed financial assets and speaking to the chairman of the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, Dr. Njenga Kigo. Thank you so much for being with us on Power Talk today. Let's just start by reminding Kenyans the role and the mandate of the authority whose board you chair.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. The Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority is a parastatal, an authority created by Act number 40 of 2011, regulated by the Unclaimed Financial Assets Regulation of 2016, and we are under the supervision of the National Treasury. We are a parastatal under the National Treasury, and we are created for a purpose. And the purpose of our creation is to receive all unclaimed financial assets, receive them, safeguard them, and unite the same to the rightful owner. That is our core mandate. And the unclaimed financial assets are so many other assets other than fixed assets. Because I find people saying, my father had a piece of land somewhere, can I come claim for it? We had a house, we had a plot somewhere. No. The financial assets are assets that are finance in nature. From the amounts in cash or cash equivalent that are abandoned in banks, financial institutions, from the fines that are abandoned in courts of law, from the deposits that you abandon with the service providers, like the water service providers, including power and others.
So those are like deposits, huh?
Those are deposits.
I see, okay.
Your deposits which you are placed there.
Right.
From actually the amount of shares that you don't bother, the dividends that nobody can trace where you are. And then from the shares themselves, the shares that actually you bought, sold, and some units could not be sold because in Kenya, until recently, you could not sell 10 or less than 100 units. So once you sell your 2,000-3,000 shares, you abandon the balance, which is under 100. We call it the odd lots. From the insurance premiums that the owners cannot be located. From the deposits that are in banks, in fixed deposits, in core deposits, and they are actually, the owner cannot be traced. All this is what we call the financial assets.
I see. So when do they become, when and how do these assets become unclaimed?
The asset becomes unclaimed when the owner first cannot be located. So once you open an account and vacate or desert the account, and the bank cannot locate you for 2 years, or once you're employed somewhere and you vacate and you run away, and the employer cannot locate you for a year, this amount of money, the holder who has the money is expected to contact you at the last known address, and if he cannot get you, by all means, then that amount is declared unclaimed.
Okay.
May it be a deposit, may it be the M-Pesa balances that you abandon, the airtime that you abandon, maybe money in bank, anything that the owner cannot be located, even after contacting the person within the last known address, is actually called unclaimed financial assets, and the person holding it is called the holder.
Okay. And so there is a legal obligation on this asset holder, you said, to make every attempt possible to contact the owner of the asset.
Yes.
And once all of that has failed, what's the next legal obligation on this asset holder?
Very good. Once you cannot locate the owner, the next obligation or the next obligation by law, you're obligated by law as a holder to submit the amount in full to the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority on or before 31st October of that year. All the unclaimed financial assets that qualify as explained should be remitted to the unclaimed financial assets by this Friday by the holders. And the holders, as I told you, are many institutions in our country. the banks, the financial institutions, the SACCOs, the courts, the various courts, the various employers, the insurance companies, all this. But the major holder we have is the commercial banks. About 70% are the holders of the unclaimed financial assets. So they are supposed to remit the same that has been for years with them without locating the owner, and it's 2 years for banks, and which they have contacted the last known address and can't get the owner. They should remit it by Friday, 31st of October. If they don't, we'll get them. We are out by law to do an audit. And the audit we do, once we get you, we will get the money and you'll be penalized and pay for the audit fee. We are around to do audits, to investigate, to identify unclaimed assets. We don't require anybody's authority. If the audit actually gets that you have the money, you'll bring the money back and you'll pay penalties and interest, at times even exceeding the amount you are holding, and then you pay for the audit fee. And if you do not pay, we'll use the judicial or the legal means to make you pay all the costs. Okay,
so there is a legal obligation on those who are holding the assets to not just inform you, but to remit those assets to your authority.
Yes, before the 31st? On or before that 1st October of every year.
So this is something they do every year?
They do, like they do annually. They do annually. Actually, over the years, since we started operating in 2016, we've been receiving, we started low, but cut off rate, we are receiving between 4 and 5 billion every year. And this amount, once we receive it, we safeguard it. Kenyans must know that their money is safe. We safeguard the money by investing the same in an account at central bank where we buy treasury bills on boards, are waiting for us to do the major core mandate that we expected to do. That is to reunite people with their unclaimed financial assets. And that's why I'm taking this opportunity to ask all Kenyans of all walks of life to come to the unclaimed financial asset platform. This is, you just dial *361#. Star 361#, or you go to our website, www.ufaa.go.ke, and then you go to search fixed assets or financial assets. After you do the search, the forms are there. You go to the forms that you're expected to fill. If you are the own claimant, you say own beneficiary, download the form, fill the form, your details, and then actually remit the same to us. If it's a beneficiary, then actually you fill in the form and close the required documents. Required documents is like the grant of administration. After obtaining a letter of administration, the grant of administration, we verify all this, and within 21 days after the due process, we remit the money to the owner. And that's why we are telling every Kenyan, come. We don't charge anything. It is free. You can even come where you are. And we need to give back this money to the owners so that the money can go back to the mainstream economy, so that we can bring in the agenda, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda into reality. And also, obviously, to transform lives and to improve livelihood of our people.
And so you talk about this if the assets belong to you. Can you claim the assets? And I know you've talked about a little bit about this, but explain. Can you claim the assets of parents, of those who are deceased, of perhaps deceased relatives, spouses? Is that something one can do?
Yes. You should, if you are the administrator. If you are the administrator for your own, or even for your brothers and sisters, all you need is to go to the judicial system and get the grant of administration, the letter of administration, subsequently the grant of administration, and then go to our portal or come to our offices or call us. We shall remit that beneficiary form, it's normally called Form B, fill in and attach that and anything that you expected, and then once we verify that you are the rightful owner, the beneficiary, we remit you the money. Obviously, one of the greatest holders that we have are for the deceased persons, because some of these assets we are holding, the families are not aware that the loved one had money that they did not disclose. Our culture doesn't mean you disclose everything that you have. And also, leave alone that accountability is another issue. And also, many other reasons. but mostly it's accountability and our culture and our culture of being self-centered. So businesses also are done whereby you find dissolutions happen after someone has left, and sometimes you cannot be located. So the benefits or the dividends of the dissolution comes to us. So you can claim the money of your parents, and even you can check whether your father or mother or your relative had actually that money by simply getting the ID number and actually go dialing *361#.
Okay.
Once you do that, you know they had, and then obviously you start the process.
So *361#.
Yes.
Or
www.ufaa.go.ke.
Okay.
Yes.
How much, is value of unclaimed assets are you holding?
Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority from 2016, when we started operation, has grown. Currently, the total amount that has been remitted to us in cash and equivalent is in excess of 36 billion shillings. That's the amount of money that has been sent to us. 1.9 billion units of shares have been remitted to us with a current value of 66 billion. So in total, from 2016, 102 billion worth of assets have been remitted to us. And the baseline survey that was done in 2018 had indicated that in total, over 241 billion is held in unclaimed financial assets. A recent survey just this year shows 385 billion shillings, or even more, close to 400 billion shillings. And when holders hold such money, they are doing injustice to Kenyans. Why are they doing injustice to Kenyans? If the money is remitted to us, we unify it with the rightful owners. Then it goes to the mainstream economy. If it is brought to us and we cannot get the owners in the short run, this money is invested in the government of Kenya through treasury bills and boards, and it goes to help the government actually improve the services of our people.
Okay.
So any holder holding money that is not his is doing injustice, is not doing more obligation to the people of Kenya, should surrender it. If you don't get the owners, then we can press in our government in bills and boards and assist the government to give us services. But otherwise, we urge Kenyans to come for their money.
All right. And that is why, as we close, your rallying call to those asset holders, remind us again the deadline that they have to remit all of those unclaimed assets to your authority.
You holders, commercial banks, financial institutions, SACCOs, any institution holding unclaimed financial assets, you have up to Friday the 31st of October to deliver all that money to us. In November, we shall commence audits, and once we get that you have money that you are holding, not remitting to us, then you pay us our money, you pay us the audit fee and the fines and the charges that are bestowed unto you, obligated to pay by the law. But my major call to the people of Kenya, claim your money. Go *361#. Go to the website www.ufa.go.ke. Go to your assistant chief, your chief, the girls. They are our partners. They'll assist you. Get your money, claim it, get the money, invest it back to the economy so that you safeguard our economy as we continue saving and safeguarding our country.
There you have it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Dr. CPA, I should add, Njenga Kigo, who's the chair of the Unclaimed Financial Assets
Authority. Oh, you forgot Honorable.
Honorable too, yes, as it is.
As a member of Parliament, forgot.
Absolutely. And a man who's not new to the Royal Media Services. Thank you so much for making time for us here on Power Talk. There you have it. Your assets could be out there. Please make a point of reclaiming them. That's Power Talk this week.
Thank you.